What's up guys, my name is Dychronic here on this Destiny 2 video, and today we're going to be talking about This Week at Bungie for April 18th, 2019. This Week at Bungie is basically their blog where they talk about what's going on the past week, the current week, and the next week in Destiny 2, so it's basically the news they have on every single Thursday that we call the TWAB. If you did not know about my videos, just make sure you sit back and relax because this is the audible version of TWABs. There will not be any fluffy animals on screen if you're closing your eyes right now. Don't worry, there's no fluffy animals on screen right now. You can look at and be so impressed by how adorable they are. You can just sit back and relax, close your eyes, and I'll just tell you everything that there is. In this particular TWAB, there's not a lot of new information, basically kind of an overview of the Revelry, you know, the new spring event, which is actually kind of fun, the new little Verdant Forest thing, as well as a lot of rewards going on in it. A couple other things, including like the new Iron Banner coming up next week. You got some updates to some supers, there's charity events, and of course the known issues. There's not a ton of things, but I'm going to be going over them nonetheless and showing you exactly what's going on. So first up, the first thing you got to do is you got to find this little link here, this little Eden Forest, and you got to click on that link, and it will be a picture of this cat with a flower. Just thought I'd mention that. I find a lot of these in a lot of the TWABs. I just love how Cosmo puts them in. On top of that, this section here, if you did not know, there's actually a special emblem that you can acquire from the Bungie Rewards page if you did not know. All you have to do is get 150 enemy kills with super abilities during the Revelry and be able to get this particular emblem right here, which I've already received, which is actually really nice. This next section is about the new lore that they released in the form of this video, this 3-minute and 40-second video about the Drifter. Now, if you've been doing the Invitation of the Nine, you know most of it, but it's a kind of a cool little rundown and summary of what's been going on with the Invitations of the Nine and the Drifter himself. It's actually kind of cool, and I recommend you watch it. It's definitely a good view. Next up, let's talk about Iron Banner. First and foremost, the next Iron Banner is going to be next week on Tuesday, April 23rd for 1 week until April 30th. It does not say that there's going to be a double or triple Valor weekend for that at all. On top of that, Iron Burden, basically a lot of people are not liking it after some community feedback. They're not going to be bringing it back in Season 7. So if you want to get that with special Wisdom and Rebuke, as well as the Triumphs and the Banners and the emblems linked to them, you have to do that in this season. So there's going to be 2 more Iron Banners, the next one and the one after that. And if you want to get this special emblem, it is available after 2,500 burden kills of called Now You're Just Showing Off. This is a Triumph that I will not be getting because I have, what, like 20 or 30 or so of these kills, and it's an absolute annoyance. So if you guys get this emblem, that is going to be a very valuable emblem. As well as the fact for direct purchase from Lord Saladin next week will be the Aurora the Bear rocket launcher, and I believe this is the Scout Rifle. I forget what the archetypes are on these, but the Aurora the Bear is actually really nice for PvP because of great handling, good speed, and decent blast radius. I recommend it if you don't have one. Next section is talking about Spectral Blades. Basically, there's going to be a nerf coming up soon. They don't say what update that it's coming in, but basically they're going to be reducing its ability in a couple different ways. First off, they're going to be reducing the damage reduction. Out of stealth is going from 60 to 52%, and in stealth is going from 62 to 54%. I mean, if you don't know, this is actually the highest resistant in and out of stealth in a super out of every roaming super in the game, and now it is actually the least at 52, and in stealth is actually on the low end. So on top of that, the fact is you can actually see people through walls, you're invisible. They wanted to make it so that super wasn't just the best in every way in that aspect. And on top of that, they reduced the duration of the super. The length out of stealth while no attacking is going to be 17.5 to 14.5 seconds. The super length in stealth with no attacking is going to be 26.6 to 23.5. So you want to be in stealth as much as possible, as well as the fact they increased the cost of a light melee by 50%. In general, the light melee costed basically nothing at all, so this increase may seem like a lot, but it's really not that a lot. And of course, they are going to be changing a little bit the Gwynson Vest, which is part of what made this super so amazing, is the Gwynson Vest and its survivability. They're going to be looking into some changes going into Season 7. Next up is going to be another round of charity events, the Kilts for Kids. The 8th year in a row, Seattle Ronald McDonald House is basically doing a charity. I'm sure you can find a lot of information on their website. There's going to be a special thing you cast votes for something I don't really know, but it's something about Team Bungie. But there's some pretty cool little pictures here. Like, look at this Whisper of the Worm. That's pretty dope as hell. And this woman's arm is pretty buff. But moving on, there's going to be some rewards for this charity. And I'm not going to read out every single one of these, but these are going to be the rewards, including this exclusive emblem, a special PS4 signed copy collector's edition, some printed out art and whatnot. lots of cool things you can read on screen in case you're interested in which of these prizes you wanted. Next up, moving on to Dr. Bungie, known issues and updates and all the stuff that they've been looking into, the bugs and the fixes. In this section, we're going to be talking about that. So first and foremost, Arc Week bundle emote. If you have purchased that bundle from Arc Week, it should still be there and available to purchase. Some people are getting the wrong emote. They've identified who have the wrong emotes, and they're going to be correcting that very soon with a prompted message. Next section, they just want to remind you, if you want to be part of the Revelry event and get all the rewards for it, you have to do the introductory milestone. Just go to Eva, open up that thing with the inspect element, the thing that she gives you, and then use one of the things, and that will open up everything in the event. That means you can get those things to drop the Revelry essence and do all the different adventures and Verdant Forest. So make sure you do all this, as well as another mention, players have until the weekly reset on May 7th to claim all of their the triumphs and everything they want to complete all of the Revelry triumphs and whatnot. So if you have some triumphs you haven't claimed, make sure you claim them, otherwise they will disappear. There's been some issues with orb generation and guitar errors. Basically, a guitar error is when there's too many assets on screen, and with orb generation, there's going to be too many assets and a lot of different activities. So they've disabled the precision kill orb generation in raids, Gambit Prime, as well as competitive Crucible, because they do not want people being removed from competitive Crucible, even though guitar is less frequent there. As far as the triumphs and bounties that require orb generation in these activities, you can still do them in the other activities that are listed. So the ones that say Gambit, they often say Gambit plus Crucible, which is unfortunate because I don't want to play Crucible, but it is there in case you wanted it. A couple of Revelry vital info and known issues. First of all, a lot of people have Eva missing the tower. The first time I went to the tower, she was missing. They're working on finding a fix for that. If you do see that, just go to orbit, come back, or log out and come back. They recommend going to the Annex instead of the Courtyard. I usually went to the Courtyard, and Annex seems to fix it. An issue with the Veresen emblem not tracking the highest number of deepest branches in the Verdant Forest. Again, a little mention, how to unlock the Verdant Forest. You need to use those 50 Reveler's Essence to open the forest with that first thing inside of the tincture. And to get more Reveler's Essence, you need to do certain activities like public events, strikes, Crucible, Gambit, Expedition Protocol, Forges, and whatnot. On screen is a kind of preview to a video I'm going to be doing this Saturday or Sunday. It's going to be basically my Revelry guide, where I've been putting down a lot of information of the best ways to do stuff and everything that I have found out. Just kind of like a little Easter egg for you guys, just in case you're interested. This is basically the progress that I'm at yet. And make sure you pay attention for that video coming up next Saturday or Sunday. It's going to be basically my guide, everything that I know about Revelry, in case you're interested. And a last little mention, if you're having issues with the triumphs and getting those Revelry orbs, you have to get precision kills for those to count. So any orbs that are created from the precision kills, which you don't have to drink any of those buffs to actually create those, will count towards those triumphs and orbs or bounties and whatnot. Next up, let's talk about some other known issues. Issues with lore dropping and ascendant challenges. An issue with the one skip ahead triumph not unlocking on a full tier 3 reckoning activity completion. Issues with the sealed Ahamkara grasp nightmare fuel perk not activating properly with the knife trick and tractor cannon. The Wizened rebuke not appearing in collections. The Anadius wards, which is those Titan deflecty exotic boots, some reason is killing you a lot. Misadventures while wearing the boots, and the projectiles not being reflected properly. And an issue with jump blink not activating while in Gambit or in other areas of the game. And that is pretty much it for the known issues. Other than that, it's going to be the movies of the week. First off, there's this little short film of a 21-second. It's kind of just a cinematic with music over it of people playing the game and like Sabbath in song and Titan. It's a bit confusing. It's all about Titan, and you can watch it if you're interested in. And next up on top of that is going to be a shields only, people popping bubbles and throwing sentinel shields like crazy to kill Callus, which is only 2 plates apparently, which is actually kind of interesting. But that's pretty much it. That's this week at Bungie. Let me know in the comments down below if you had any questions, if I missed something, or if I'm total bonkers. Check out one of my previous news videos in case you're interested in all of the information in the Revelry. This is basically the Revelry event page, all the different things that are going on. If you wanted more information about everything here, make sure you check out that video. It has more information over there. That's pretty much it. That's going to be the video. Hope you guys did enjoy. My name has been Dychronic, and I will see you guys on the next one.